Thank you very much. Craig Eugene Penny, 23T702583.
And good morning, Your Honor. I'm appeals to the people.
Mr. Penny, your name?
Sir, Your Honor, my name is Craig Eugene Penny.
Mr. Carmen?
Michael A. Carmen, P73824, on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
All right. So I have a plea form in front of me that tells me that the defendant is going to plead guilty to the added count of disorderly person with the understanding that the assault and battery will be dismissed. Is that correct, Mr. Carmen?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Kazak?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Is that what you wish to do, Mr. Penny?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty here, the possible penalties are up to $500 in fines, 90 days jail. Costs are all of those. Do you understand that?
I do.
I can't hear you.
I do.
You are presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to a trial by court or trial by jury. At a trial, you have the right to question their witnesses, to testify or remain silent. If you remain silent, that silence would not be held against you. You have the right to use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in your own witnesses. You have the right to cross-examine their witnesses. If you plead guilty, you're giving up all of those rights, including your constitutional right to a jury trial. Do you understand that?
I do.
You still wish to plead guilty?
I'm going to plead guilty. Yes.
To the charge. Is Eugene Penny here? You want to come on up?
What's your call over here? Over here, sir. You can stand right there.
Your name, sir?
Yep.
Your name?
Eugene Penny.
Good morning. To the charge, did you talk to the prosecutor about all this? Do you understand what's going on? That's the prosecutor right there, the good-looking guy in the mustache.
Yeah.
You talk to him?
Yes.
You understand what's going on?
Yes,
You agree with this?
I agree with what I had complaint of the complaint. Yes.
To the charge disorderly person, Mr. Penny, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Were you in the city of Trenton, County of Wayne, at 2106 Churchill in Trenton on February 4 of 23?
Yes.
What did you do that makes you guilty of the charge of disorderly person?
I was angry. I remembered a lifetime of memories that I'd suppressed and repressed, and then this brain damage caused me. My brain doesn't work like it used to. I don't dream anymore. So my short-term memory does not consolidate into long-term memory. My memory works very jagged, unpredictable.
Hang on. I got to pick up every single word you're saying. This young lady here is taking down everything. Nice and loud, slow. Repeat what you said.
The incident started because I lost my house. I haven't worked since the 2018. I lost my house, and the only people I know that I talk to are my parents. So I moved back in there in the very beginning of November, end of October, and then living there, all the memories of my whole life came back to me, and I realized that that's where all of my emotional and physical trauma have come from. And so, they would pound on my door and listen in on me, and I told them that I don't sleep.
I want to know what you did on this date.
Okay, we yelled at each other.
You yelled at who?
Eugene Penny.
Did you put your hands on him in any form or fashion?
No.
Or did you threaten him in any form or fashion?
No.
How did we ever have a charge of us?
I'm a
How did we ever
nonviolent.
have
Sorry, sir.
How did we ever have a charge of assault or assault and battery here? Wasn't that the original charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the allegation?
The allegation is that Mr. Penny used the hammer in that place with the complaining witness in fear. Used the hammer and gestured in a threatening manner.
Did you have a hammer in your hand?
I was holding one and I dropped it as soon as I heard him say to who he was calling, that I had a hammer. I have
Who else was present at the time of this?
just he and I. No one else was there.
Yelling. I don't know. What else do you have, Mr. Kazak? I don't even have a factual basis. He didn't use a hammer. He didn't assault. He didn't batter. He's having an argument. I didn't think arguing was against the law as far as I could tell in and of itself.
I would agree, Your Honor, if it caused such a disturbance that literally caused the police to arrive and disturb the quiet of the neighborhood, then I can see that being a factual basis.
Did anybody else outside hear you, to your knowledge?
No, sir, Your Honor. I don't know how anyone heard us. We weren't yelling that loud.
Why are you pleading guilty to anything? Mr. Carmen, can you help me out here? What?
I was
He didn't
advised.
assault him. He didn't batter him. He had an argument. I don't understand where we get a factual basis. If it's on an underlying charge and you're reducing it to something like disorderly, that's fine. It's not fine if I don't have an assault or assault and battery, and I'm not even sure this constitutes disorderly. Nobody else was there. He didn't use anything. They weren't arguing loudly, at least loud enough where others could hear it. I mean, every time a husband and wife have an argument, they're going to get charged and convicted of disorderly in person? Or a father and a daughter, father and a son, husband and a wife. I mean, I'm not going to turn this into a joke. So
Your
if
Honor?
somebody can start telling me real clearly now why there's a factual basis, or else I'm going to end up setting it for trial, or you're going to have to figure out some other disposition. Go ahead.
Your Honor, can I have voir dire my client?
Sure.
Mr. Penny, on the date in question,
Yes,
you and your dad, Eugene Penny, were having, is it fair to say, a heated argument?
yes.
And you were holding a hammer.
Only not while we were arguing, but I don't know at what point I had, because I had the few of the tools that I used my whole life in that tiny room. I lost everything else. He's got all the rest of my tools scattered in his garage, his driveway, his basement, the dining room, just a couple of tools that I use on jobs. I just have the few things in that room with me. And I don't know why I was holding it. I hold it a lot. I spin it around. I do things with it. I also have a fencing epee, a geologist.
Whoa. Wait. I lost those last 10 words. Stay close to that device, please. So we can pick. She's got to pick up everything that's said here.
Sorry. I have the few things that I had left were in a small room with me, with the detritus from 20 years of other people living in that room, old dirty clothes. And so the few things the little bit of room that I had in that bedroom, I had the few hand tools or the sports that I played, those few things in that room. And that's all I had. So I in no way meant to be threatening with that. He used to work with me. I trimmed houses. I had a business called.
Sir,
Pacific.
just answer his questions,
I'm
please.
sorry.
Just answer
I'm
his
sorry.
Just answer his questions. Do you have another question?
Mr. Penny, but at one point you were holding a hammer and your father saw this, correct?
Yeah, and as soon,
Did he, hang on, okay, that's all I need. Yes or no, please. Did he appear to be frightened to you regardless of what your intention was?
no, he seemed mad. He did not
So he
seem
was
scared.
angry,
Very, yes,
and
very,
that escalated the confrontation.
yes.
And I thought you indicated to me that it was probably loud enough for your neighbors to hear.
No, I never said it was loud enough for the neighbors to hear. I assumed that they called. They were all standing around watching when I was being taken to the car.
But someone called the police because of
He
what
did.
happened between you and your father.
He did. He went and picked up a cell phone that I had never seen. And I was afraid when he was going to get that phone that he was going to get his .357 revolver. But then I saw him come up with a phone I've never seen before. And then he called the police. And then it was while he was talking to them, he said he's holding a hammer. And as soon as I heard him say that, you'll hear it on the call. I dropped it. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was holding it slack down to my side. As soon as I heard him say that, I literally opened my hand and dropped it
But
straight.
your father was frightened enough by your behavior to call the police.
He was
Is that
angry.
fair to say?
He was angry enough, certainly.
Your Honor, that's all I got.
Both of my sisters did this, one of their kids, this exact same thing. They did this with their kids. So I think they have a playbook and,
All right, okay, listen, I'm not, your family, your sisters are not defendants here.
I understand.
It's okay. It's all right. You don't think you're guilty. I'm good with it. I really am. I'm not taking the plea. I'm rescheduling it for another pretrial. I'm not going to make this a joke. So we'll set it out 3 weeks. If it doesn't resolve at that time, I'm going to set it for a bench or jury trial at the defendant's option. New pretrial will be on March the 7th. We'll just make that a little bit later in the day here. Not too late, but I'll make it at 9:30, okay? Where are you now, Mr. Penny?
I'm not, what is this?
Your Honor, Bruce Mark, therapist here, Christian Guidance Center in Detroit, part of the Detroit Rescue Mission Ministry Service.
All right. Okay. I'm going to continue your bond conditions. No contact with Eugene Penny or prosecution witnesses. You cannot enter or go back to 2106 Churchill Street in Trenton. You will be allowed one visit if you haven't already acquired them, accompanied by the police to acquire your own personal belongings, no firearms, no dangerous weapons. You're not to be within 2 miles of the victim, his residence, or place of employment. You're not to be released until fitted with a GPS tether. You can zoom in again March the 7th, 9:30. Mr. Eugene Penny, do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, I wish you well. We'll see you here March the 7th.
Your
Have a
Honor,
great day. You can,
I need to ask my client, how long are you going to be residing there, Mr. Penny? Do you know?
Yes, I do. We can't release him until we get a court order since he was tethered here from Wayne County Jail. So I guess after this, we'll be able to release him, but until then, we can't let him go until we get something from the court ordering his release.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
March 7th, we'll see you here. Thank you all. Have a great day.